Next question. We got so many people. I got so many people. We got to keep moving.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you, sir. Nice to meet you, Paul Walker. Yes, thank you.
Sorry. So my question, great work in Tangled, by the way, but like, what is your favorite line throughout the entire film?
The entire film of Tangled?
Yeah, Tangled.
All of them. All of my lines.
Like as Flynn Rider?
Yes, as Flynn. No, as Pascal.
What's your favorite line?
No, I don't know. Honestly, there's so many lines that I really love, and I can't. Again, I can't quote a lot of them. But I think one of the funnest ones to record was when she heals my hand, and I just rattle off that whole thing. I remember we did a couple takes of that, and it was literally written. It's like a little monologue, and I just took the deepest breath I could. I was like, again, how do you even do this? That was gibberish. I wasn't even actually. It's literally. Muttley. So I think that was one of my favorites, but honestly, I loved all of it. I loved playing Flynn Rider. I still love playing Flynn Rider, Eugene Fitzherbert. And anybody out there watching the series, by the way? It's good stuff, right? It's good stuff. Anyway, thank you for the question. Appreciate it. Yes, sir, your question?
Yeah, Zach,
Hi.
Who exactly is your love interest in Shazam? Will that be Stargirl or Isis?
Wow. I have no love interest. No, I don't. You have to wait for April to find out. There's so many questions. There's so many questions about things I can't talk about. But great question. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Hello, sir. Great show, sir.
I'm Chris from Wheaton, Maryland. Thank you for coming here this weekend.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Can you share anything about your upcoming appearance on the second season of The Marvelous Miss Maisel?
The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Anybody watch The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel on Amazon? If you have not seen it, I highly recommend it. It is a fantastic show. It is a fantastic show for anyone, I believe. It's the show. The premise of the show, for those who are uninitiated, it's about a young Jewish divorcee in the late 1950s who is essentially kind of stumbled into and now aspiring to be a stand-up comic in New York. That sounds like it's a very niche premise. That's because it is a very niche premise. But here's the beautiful thing about excellence. Excellence is for everyone, and this show is excellent. So I highly recommend you would check it out, regardless of race, color, creed, sexual orientation, whatever. It is for everyone. It's a beautiful, beautiful show. My character in the show, I can't talk about. I can't talk about what they haven't released yet. Well, so far what they've released is that I am I believe a doctor named Benjamin, and I look something like this. So I can't wait for you to watch it. And I think I'm not sure when it was going to drop, but
Sometime this fall.
Okay, sometime this fall. You heard it right here, folks. Sometime this fall. And I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure, of course. Yeah. Hi.
I'm sure the movie we're all here to see you from is Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Of course, Alvin and the Chipmunks is Squeakquel. Yep.
You played Toby.
I did play Toby.
Dutch Oven.
You just Dutch Oven Theodore.
Dutch Oven Theodore. I watched it just a little bit.
He just went like that. That's what he just did. And I knew exactly what you were doing. That's what's so weird. The Dutch Oven scene. The infamous Dutch Oven. Yes, continue.
Well, from going from Dutch Oven Theodore, the chipmunk, to being a beloved hero, Shazam.
Yes, sir.
That I love.
Thank you.
What's that like from an actor?
To go from farting on chipmunks to being a superhero. It's actually kind of one and the same, if we're being honest. No, you know what? I mean, I've gotten to play so many roles that are big kids, kind of, in a lot of ways, and probably because I'm just a big kid in a lot of ways. And Toby was kind of that, in his own weird Toby-ish way. Shazam is kind of that, in a very specific way, because he's Billy Batson, he's 14, and he just happens to be in this body. Who happens to look like a doctor named Benjamin in New York, but look, it's the dreamiest. I mean, some of you guys have come by my booth through the weekend, and I've told you this. Like, I've sat and reflected on my career, and I mean, Alvin and the Chipmunks and Squeakquel is quite the feather in the cap, but but I got Shazam, and I sat there one day. Because I do think it's important that we all take stock of our lives. I think it's very important, and I try to every morning and every night in my prayers give as much thanks as I can for the life that I've been given, which is incredible. It's incredible. And one of those things, like a funny little, I don't know, tidbit, is I was looking at, in fact, even at like another convention, I had, the big banner of my face on it, and it had Chuck and Fandral and Flynn and Shazam. And I was like, who gets that kind of career? I mean, Chuck notwithstanding, which obviously kind of built so much of what I get to do right now, but I've gotten to be now, and I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I've gotten to be in the Marvel universe, DC universe, and Disney universe, and I don't know another person that's gotten to do that on like 3 major levels like that. Thank you. It's really, really cool, But I've also been a part of the Chipmunk universe too. And that's a really fun thing to get to traverse all of that, And again, bringing it back to you guys, I only get to do that because you guys have continued to believe in me and support me, and you keep going and consuming the stuff that I'm a part of. Whether you loved the whole piece or not, some of the things I've been a part of haven't always been the biggest crowd pleasers or whatever. I appreciate you still liked me in it and you still supported me in it. So thank you for that, and thank you for your question. Yes, thank you. Hi. What's up, man?
Hi, my name's Joaquin. I'm excited for the new movie, and I have a question.
Yes, sir.
What actor do you admire?
What actor do I admire?
That.
Ooh, there are a lot of them. I admire the actors that from my standpoint, and I don't know a lot of these people. I wish I knew all the real fancy, cool, famous people, but like Tom Hanks, Bryan Cranston, Meryl Streep. I admire people that I think their level of craft is so good, but also carry themselves in very humble and human ways. Because there's a lot of talented people that I would like to admire, but I think they're kind of jerks. And or they come across as being so, and I know that they're just kind of lost or broken in wherever part of their process that they're in. But it makes it hard to admire them. And obviously, it's hard to admire somebody that you think is a great person, but they don't do their job very well. That's not very good either. But yeah, people like that I think are really good. And then I don't know, who else? I mean, back in the day, Gene Kelly and Jimmy Stewart. I think guys like that were fantastic. Yeah, people like that.
I have another question.
Yes. Oh, okay.
If you could be any other superhero except Shazam, what one would you be?
Another Shazam. Thank you.
And can I give you a high five?
What's that?
Can I give you a high five?
Oh, bro, come on. High five that up. Boom. Solid. See, for some people, this is a really big step. But for me, it's normal. Because I got legs the size of the Mississippi. Hi.
Okay, so I got this question book here.
Fantastic.
So
I'm assuming it's a question for me.
Yeah,
in said question book.
Just do a question from this question.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Might be a little weird. Okay.
Well, have you seen the rest of the questions?
Good point. Anyway, if you were cloned, what would you have your clones do?
All the crap work. Yeah, I'd have all my clones doing the laundry and the dishes and all of the minutiae of life. Although, actually, let's get philosophical. Because that's what I do. Have you guys ever seen Multiplicity, by the way?
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest. Go watch that movie. Yeah. Michael Keaton is, first of all, so underrated. I'm so grateful that he's coming back and he's doing such good stuff. But, oh my gosh, he plays. It's a movie about a guy who clones himself, and then clones himself again, and then one of his clones decides to get the great idea of cloning itself, and that's really funny. For those of you who have not seen this movie, you gotta go see it. Thief. She tapped my copy. But he basically cloned himself so that they could take care of, a lot of the work, the crap work in life, right? So I guess I would probably have my clones doing that. Although it gets really philosophical, because then, that's a person. That's me. And also, it's good for us to do the crap work sometimes, right? That's part of self-love. I've been learning that this last year since doing intensive therapy. That you gotta go and do your self-love. You gotta do self-care. And literally, doing the laundry is part of doing that sometimes. It's like you looking after yourself. So, I don't know that I want to give all my clones my self-love time. I need that. We take turns. And then we play multiplayer video games. That's what we do. I get a little posse in Red Dead Redemption coming out soon, and we go riding around and come on! Thank you for the question. Thank you. Hey.
My name's Carrie, and I'm a technology teacher for elementary students.
Awesome.
And so people
what kind of technology does one teach elementary school kids?
It's not like what we got when we were kids. It's not like typing and then Oregon Trail if you're lucky. It's like
coding.
Coding and robotics and 3D printing.
So like hacking, like third grade. Go ahead.
Literally. And so people like you that start things like Nerd HQ are so awesome for people like me that try to get kids to idolize brains over like being the next NFL player. Yeah. And so I know that they're all going to be obsessed with you come April and Shazam, all my little elementary students. And so I'm wondering if I can then go back and be like, I met Zachary Levi and he said X about why coding and working your brain is really important. So I'm selfishly looking for like what I can tell my students.
Sure. Yeah. Trying to just dig yourself out of it. Okay. Let me do the heavy lifting. No, well, first of all, thank you. That's awesome. I love that you're doing this. I love that this is curriculum that we are continuing to. And by the way, as far as Nerd HQ is concerned, one of the things I'm trying to do is move it away from being. I am dissolving the for-profit Nerd HQ and starting a completely non-for-profit Nerd HQ because I want to transition the event into being something that's kind of like. When you would go to like a science museum, like the real tangible ones where you get to do lots of cool different things, and I kind of want to do that and do a lot of edutainment type experiences where kids can go learn about green screen and mocap and all the ways that art and technology work together to make all the cool stuff that we do nowadays. So I hope I get to do that, and I hope all of your kids get to go experience that at some point.
Help with that.
Yeah, heck yeah, totally. But as far as encouraging them to stay on that track, I mean, what would I tell them? I mean, the pressure. I have a hard time saying, don't go try and be that NFL star, because sometimes that's exactly what a kid is built and meant to do, and they can be amazing in it and thrive in it and go do great things with it. So I don't want to discourage them from any other particular path that they might be talented in and want to go down. But I can say that some of the greatest, most powerful, visionary world changers that have ever been have been those that have done it almost solely sometimes with their minds. And I think that we are always going to be needing the visionaries and the next visionaries of the world. And with that vision and hard work can come a tremendous amount of success and a tremendous amount of money. And I hope that if they ever do become blessed enough to go become those visionaries and make all that money, that they reinvest that back in other people, because that is the most important investment that they can make. Yeah.